insurance companies, and it's all part of the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank Financial Information Month. The annual event where they present information about the financial information and literacy, etc. And we've been joined here by I am a part of a group, as you would have heard mentioned before, the Anguilla newspaper. Yes, we also have Lloyd Comes Live. We have Casey and Cotton Pickering. We are all here, and we are part of the ECCB FIA month of activities. The roadshow segment, we call this series here. So I'll go across here and say, gentlemen, a pleasant good morning to you.
Good morning.
Welcome back. Welcome back. And your name, well, of course, I know you, but give us your name here,
Jarvis Richardson, Senior Sales and Marketing Officer here at Mako.
And Mr.
And I'm Adrian Smith, General Manager.
Okay, all right. So let's speak a bit about insurance now. And I know that the years passed, but a whole lot of things would have changed as well. I mean, what's happening in the world of insurance now that's exciting, that's new? Talk to me about what's happening.
So you just mentioned that Mako would be one of Angola's longest standing insurance companies, but you left out that we're the only indigenous insurance company on the island.
Oh yes,
and that comes with several advantages. Lately, I was pointed this out by my customer, and most of my marketing tips come from my clients, And what she pointed out to me is that what she buys when she buys an insurance document is a claims officer. That's what she really purchases, And our competitive advantage is that my claim officer. My lead claim adjuster is right over there. And she's been here forever. She's an Angolian. She's lived here, and she's right there. She doesn't need to fly in.
Like some countries, you fly them in.
You have to.
I've seen over the years they've flown into Angola.
I've worked with other insurance companies or brokerages where you wouldn't know the claim is filed. And I challenge the listeners to walk into your insurance company and ask them who is going to be your claim officer. And 99.9% of the time, they won't be able to tell you because they represented a company. They themselves have never met the claim officer. So that's our competitive advantage. What you're buying is you're buying my claim adjuster who's sitting right in her office as we speak. So if you had a claim today, she'll be able to start working on getting you made whole today. There's no need to fly in to get a hotel room, get situated, and then start working on your claim.
That means that you can have it quicker. For example, if you have a claim right now, you can be dealt with quickly because the adjuster's on the island.
Adjuster is on the island. All my contractors, everything is here. Homegrown, Angolian made, and that's Mako's real competitive advantage.
How old is Mako?
Started. I'd say we started as a company around about 1995, so about 30 years, providing service to the island. And I want to re-emphasize the point made. As an insurance company, being around for that time, homegrown, we have developed a lot of experience in the area of insurance, a lot of local knowledge. We can't emphasize that too much, that the fact that you are purchasing a claims officer, we can't overemphasize that.
No, it's serious.
When you purchase insurance, you're not purchasing a document to waive to say I have insurance. That document is meaningless if your claims cannot be met. And when your claims can be met effectively because the person dealing with your claim is on the ground, they know you, every single person. They know the culture. They know every crevice and corner of this island. They know the idiosyncrasies, and that makes a world of a difference. Put on top of that, years of experience, years of expertise, staff that know what they're doing. You are definitely secure with Mako in that regard.
That I pointed about earlier there about the cultures because local adjuster knows the Angolan culture. He knows you, he knows me. Okay. One that's flown in doesn't know anybody. He just shows up on the site and does an evaluation really for there. So you feel comfortable, much more comfortable with someone who you know on the corner. For the years.
And what I'm in the field, and I use this in the field, and it works now. I just recently sold to a restaurant, and I let him know that my claims adjuster loves your restaurant. She frequents here often, like she told me. And if you were to be damaged, it's in her interest having to be particularly likened to your restaurant to get you back up and running as
Yes.
soon as possible.
Uh-huh.
Like it's in her interest as well because she likes your restaurant.
Uh-huh.
So that's our competitive advantage. And another thing about being local is we understand the strength of our building code in Angola. It's very strenuous. We understand the skill level and the quality contractors that we have here, being a local company. We know the quality of our cement plants here in Angola, being a local company. So as a local company, having understand all these things and taking them into consideration, we're able to provide some of the most competitive rates on the island because we know the strength of our buildings. And this year's theme for Financial Information Month, from savers to investors.
You have a piggy bank too?
Yes,
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay.
Savers to investors.
You can't put enough money in that piggy bank, to really assist you if a catastrophic peril was to arise in an earthquake, a tsunami, a hurricane that we're kind of prone to. Like you won't be able to save enough, to
Let's break it down for our listeners and viewers right now. For example, hurricane approaches the country, destroys my property. I'm insured with Mako. I have peace of mind.
you definitely have peace of mind,
Yeah.
especially when you dealt with somebody who's gone through experienced teachers, who's gone through the hurricane claim process before.
Yeah.
I won't let any of my clients underinsure. I will spend 3-4 days telling them about underinsurance and why it makes no sense, and you're better off not having insurance than to be underinsured. Because at that point, insurance gets a bad reputation. It's about protecting your reputation as well. But when you underinsure, what you expect to get, you don't get in that time of need. So, it's do it and do it right. There are tools at my disposal. If the premium is an issue that I can use to help you get your premium to where you want it to be without being underinsured. Because there's a proration that go on and you won't get nowhere close to the damage if you're underinsured. So,
last week we raised that point by another company about the issue on insurance, because sometimes you hear people mention that last week you recall that the persons who sometimes say the insurance company ripped them off. They went away for medicals and midway in the process they were left hanging and they returned home and they blasted the insurance company. I was told that you have a limit to the insurance to what you can do.
Yes.
And they have deductibles too, I heard.
Yes. So the insurance, like I said, we get a bad reputation. And that's one of the reasons why I chose insurance as a career, because I think it's one of those tools that people like me and you that look like us, who don't understand how to use it and they don't understand what it really is. Your insurance policy is your insurance Bible.
Okay.
There's nothing that an insurance company can do to you or for you that's not in that policy. And I remember distinctly telling you that you should read it because there is gems in there. Last year I remember using that, and I used the example of some policies would replace your food from your refrigerator should there be a electrical outage. But they won't tell you that up front. You will have to have read through your policy to know those little things, little gems in there. So insurance, the industry itself, I think is one of the only industries that tell you everything that can and will happen in the relationship, but beforehand.
Most times, though, people doesn't read the fine print.
They don't, and that's the issue.
That's the issue, the fine print. And you wouldn't sign without reading the fine print. But sometimes the person who's selling you the product, though, sometimes they take time, like you, to explain to you what's in the document.
Definitely. I think that is where our strong point is. In educating our customers. So take Jervis, for example. Jervis will be speaking to a customer, and the customer may ask him about a product that we may not necessarily have. The odd case. And yet Jervis will recommend to that customer where they can go, will recommend to that customer how they should view their risk overall. Because what we are about is educating persons about your risks, not just insurance, but about your overall risk. Having identified your risk, what we want to do is to help you to manage your risk. And insurance is a wonderful part of that risk management process. So you have money. What do you want to do with your money? You say, I want to keep my money in the pocket. I want to save. So you can decide not to insure because you want to pour as much money as possible into saving. Then something happens. You have to empty that piggy bank.
Not enough still.
What we do, and it will not be enough. So we say, just take a small portion of what you would save.
Yes.
And you can transfer your entire risk to someone else. So you are investing, you are making money from taking a small portion to transfer your risk. So your very insurance policy is a representation of your investment. It is smart investing. And that policy, not just giving you a paper, but to assist you in your investment goals, to provide that assurance that I can proceed with my investments, I can do my savings, etc. And I don't have to start from zero. That's what we're about. Preventing you from starting from zero.
Most of hurricanes, you have to start from zero. Hurricanes, something that puts you back, way back. You lose everything you had, and you have to go back to zero. With insurance now, that is taken care of because you have cash to rebuild.
You're required to do a write-up to pay for and stuff. And we use the example of the game, red light, green light, 1, 2, 3. Remember that game?
I heard that on one of your jingles as well.
Yes. So imagine playing red light, green light, 1, 2, 3, and having a cheap code in your pocket. That when they spot you and they say go back to the line, you just pull out your card as a get out of jail free card. You continue. You don't have to go back and start back from zero. And I think we in the Caribbean especially, we take pride in saying how much times we've lost it out and had to start back. But other people get to maximize their full potential and leave generational wealth for their future generations by continuing and building. If every time you start back from zero, how do you build and leave something? It's about protecting what you've already worked for to leave for generations to come so they can build on what you had, and then we can continue to build so we can create some real wealth for ourselves. And that's why I fell in love with insurance, things like that you can do to change your stars, and be able to change the lives of people around you in the future. It's one of the best investments that you can make.
Okay, product-wise, what do you have in products that are hot right now or there on the market?
Right now, like I mentioned, because we know the type of buildings and the quality of buildings that we do here, property, we have real competitive rates on our property. And most people who cover their property, they do so for compliance reasons, because they have a loan at the bank and they use the home as collateral. I would advise you, if you protect the property for the bank, when you finish paying it off, you no longer own the bank and that property is now yours. If you protect it for the bank, how much more sure should you protect it for yourself and for your children and the generations to come after? You should want to protect it more for yourself than you did for the bank. So like I said, we have competitive rates. We have all types of tools at our disposal that can help bring the rate down to where you want it without having to under-insure. Liability, we have great rates on that as well. We have public liability, employer liability, to keep your employees safe. If you have a bunch of employees, you don't want to lose your business to a lawsuit from your employer. You come in, you get a policy, and we will vindicate you should there ever be a claim made against you. It's all about protecting whatever you've worked for and achieved. We can help put a wall in between danger and that asset, and you won't lose it.
And I don't have to bring the bank to secure insurance, right? I don't bring the bank. No,
we have very competitive. We have real reasonable payment plans as well. We're here to work with our customers. Every customer is a unique taste. Every customer is a unique payment plan. Every customer, they get unique and individualized attention to get them to what the insurance needs are.
Motor vehicle insurance is a big hit here. The company, I've realized that with people across Angola. What makes your policy so unique for motor insurance? Because people just tend to come here. It's natural.
Well, the first thing is that we're the only company who covers motorcycles. I think that needs to be
motorbikes.
Yeah, the only company that covers motorcycles is Marijuana Insurance Company. So if you have a motorbike, please don't be on the street riding illegally. You can still cause harm There's lots of damage caused by motorbikes. Don't think it's a small vehicle and you
But
won't damage
but
on the
Smith
property.
Smith and Richardson, but motorcycles are high risk, aren't they? High risk.
They are
Yeah.
higher risk for the rider,
Mhm.
unfortunately. But they still
Mhm.
cause, a third party damage as well. But they're rated accordingly. And, if you're a responsible
Mhm.
driver, you can expect to get a really good rate from Migo.
So how do you determine a responsible ride of a bike? Though I mean, a bike is a bike. I mean, a
Well,
rider is a
insurance
rider too.
companies, they have
Mhm.
statistics and all types of stuff that we use to guide us into
Mhm.
determining who's responsible and who's not.
Mhm.
I remember having insurance elsewhere in
Mhm.
the United States of America,
Yeah, okay.
right? And we think insurance is expensive here.
Mhm.
And it's not compared to what I paid to drive in the US.
Mhm.
And I had everything against me. Even the
Mhm.
color of the car that I
Mhm.
drove was against me. I was
Mhm.
young, I was male, I was African American, and I had a
Mhm.
red car. They rate you higher
A red car.
for having a red car
So why
in
is
the
that?
US.
Why is that?
I wouldn't
It's
be
more
able to tell you.
likely, they say that
Yeah.
you're more likely to be risky,
A red car?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So persons who go after a red car is more likely to be risky.
Mhm.
A red car.
Yeah,
Okay,
so
all right.
when you bear those things in mind, you see how competitive and how relaxed we are in the Caribbean,
Yes.
and even more so here at Mako.
At Mako as well.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
All right. So you mentioned group insurance, and that's a hit to a paradigm. It's being offered by insurance companies, and the benefits of that for I heard it before, but from your perspective now, the benefits of that to companies and to
So I want to start with contractors are risk.
Mhm.
The contractors are risk. We have a lot of contractors out there. We have a lot of new contractors out
A
there.
lot of buildings,
A
a
lot
lot
of
of
buildings
construction.
going
yes,
on.
gonna be yes.
You know, a contractor can protect himself from having to dig in his pocket to correct mistakes. He can protect his equipment. He can protect his employees.
Mhm.
He can protect his contract and the length of time. There are all types of things he can do to protect himself.
You know, yeah.
From any liability that he may face as a contractor.
You know, one time, Pickering, Lloyd, there was a guy contractor did some work for a gentleman, American gentleman, and somehow they had a plan, and something changed on the plan. The guy had to change it done.
Mm-hmm.
It went to court.
Mm-hmm.
Contractor
Mm-hmm.
had to rectify the issue out of pocket.
Out of pocket, yeah. And that's where
So,
that's
so you're saying he wasn't sure now he'd have been covered?
He would have been covered for that mistake. He definitely would have been. Contractor's liability takes on that type of risk for the contractor. So I advise contractors, to come in, have a talk with us, and we can explain to you how we can better protect you from those type of instances.
I find that people tend to underestimate the risks they face with construction.
Is it serious?
A lot of people just think,
Trucks of flats.
it is when the building is done, then we think about insurance. But listen, before even one block is put down, before you even clear the land, get insurance. Talk about starting over. Imagine you're halfway down, and everything because of an insured period is wiped out.
Yeah.
No, you have to start from scratch, clear land again, foundate the whole works. You want to protect yourself from that because with the contractor's all risk insurance, what we do, we don't cover you for what is on the ground on day one. We cover you for what it will cost at the end.
Okay.
So at the very beginning, when you're at zero, we are saying to you, this is gonna cost you $1 million, $2 million. We can cover you for that from now. So as the building progresses, you know that you're secured. When you're talking about liability also, there are several liability issues that can arise while you're constructing. There is what we call general third-party liability, where whilst you're doing your construction, persons in the public, they're injured, property damage, you're out of pocket in order to deal with that. So we attach the general liability to that construction, but also your employees that you employ in the construction, they can face loss or damage also. You're out of pocket to do that. Because the way the liability thing is set up, if you are working on a construction project, liability can arise to the contractor. you may not, at the end of the day, in a court battle, come out the loser, but you will face expense in terms of defending yourselves.
Oh, yeah.
So you want an insurance policy that will provide the cost of your legal defense.
Oh.
So there are many risks that are open to you as a contractor, as a builder. So you want to ensure before you lay that first block, you come and have a talk with us. Talking to us will cost you nothing. At least have a talk with us. Let's look at the options and see what we can provide.
Yep. So you call it something? You call that contractors all risk?
Liability policy.
So it's a contractor's all risk,
yes.
that covers the material damage, your equipment, it covers the construction material, etc. But it also covers two main areas of liability that you face. That is liability to the public generally and liability to your employees. So it's a comprehensive type of cover for a contractor.
Because the person working for you can get injured too on the job, and
Indeed.
that falls to you too. If they injured on the job, as a contractor.
Definitely, anybody. If I get damaged right now, Mr. Smith. I actually do some supermarkets. If you're any business where you have employees, it's something you should look into, especially if they're at risk anyhow. Using knives, butchers, that kind of stuff. You want to make sure that they're covered.
Supermarkets. I recall in America, though, people sometimes get sued.
Slip and fall.
That's liability?
Public liability, yes. Yeah. It can happen anywhere the law allows it to. Yes, it's a cultural difference, but as the cultures change, Angola, you need to understand that we get more and more cultures that are used.
Yes, sue conscious. We're getting more sue conscious. Yes. And you'll be going on for years and everything is good. And you say, I don't need insurance. I've been 5-10 years. And that one claim can potentially wipe out your entire profit for that year.
Okay. All right. So tell me now, quickly a bit about a bit more on another service now. A bit about health insurance. Is that one of your products?
Unfortunately, we don't carry medical yet. It's something we're looking into. I think it's one of the biggest sellers in Angola.
Yeah, it is.
And when people think about insurance, that's the first thing and that is what they're more willing to purchase now as well. I've noticed. But at the moment, we don't carry that product. But something else I would like to point out in terms of defending insurance in what people, the connotation that people have around insurance. You will hear someone say, I've paid the insurance for so many years, and I get nothing back. And this is a conversation that I like to have with people because I want to explain to them that insurance is a tangible product. Just like your telephone bill, you would pay Flow or Digicel for so many years, and when you're done paying them, you no longer owe them anything. And if you don't use their service, they no longer owe you anything, right? Just like insurance. I want people to look at insurance as a tangible product. Risks exist. The risk that something can go wrong in our everyday life exists. We take that risk and we put it in the bag. And for a nominal fee, you pay us and we take that risk from you and we hold it for you for a period of time. And if nothing happens in that period of time, then we take that back and give it back to you unless you pay us again to hold it for another period of time. But if something do happen, and while we're holding that bag, then that risk is ours. So if at the end of our contracted period, nothing happened or something did happen, we take care of that claim. At the end of that period, you no longer owe us anything, and we no longer owe you anything. It's a tangible product where we hold risk for a specified period of time. And after that, no party owes the other party anything. So when people say, I've paid this insurance for so long and I didn't get anything, first of all, be happy that the risk didn't occur. And second of all, you did get something. You got the peace of mind. Had you gotten into that car crash, had your house exploded, had a hurricane come and knock down your entire structure, that you would have been made whole. That was a peace of mind that you had, and you would have been made whole. Thank God it didn't happen, but you would have been made whole. Like, insurance is one of the only products you want to have, but don't want to use it. I have medical insurance. I don't want to get sick.
Exactly.
I got car insurance. I don't want to get in a crash, but I'm happy I have it because I have peace of mind that if something was to happen, I'll be covered.
you'll be covered and you'll be covered. So this is all important right now. Also, before we go though, marine one time, aircraft insurance, that was a big hit around here one time too.
It
Still
was.
is. Yeah.
It still is. We are
Mhm.
very much a boat faring culture.
Mhm.
We love the sea. We had a facility for marine, but
Mhm.
it's not one of those products that we're really pushing at the
Okay.
moment. We're looking for profiting. We want to take care of your liability, your travel coverage. We are the industry leader in motor insurance. We set the trend in terms of motor insurance. We have the most competitive price on the island, the easiest, fastest on the island. If you're in the market for motor insurance, come in and see us. We have they set the trend on property, liability, travel. We have you covered in most other products, medical, marine. We're not quite, doing at the moment, but we're working on it.
Working on things. All right. So we're about to conclude here. Your closing comments, statements. I'll start with you then, Mr. Smith.
So, in keeping with the theme of this year's Financial Information Month, from savers to investors, and like Mr. Smith says, you can't put enough money in here.
No.
If you get sick,
No,
you have money. Easiest way to find out how much money, if you really got money,
get sick,
is to get sick.
Get sick.
To investors, insurance is one of the best investment you can make. All my real important taglines for insurance have came from my clients. I've had a client say she's going to pay her medical insurance because when she gets sick, she don't want nobody to have to barbecue chicken for her. You don't get a better medical tagline than
that's a serious one. Yeah.
And then I've had a client this year say for older Angolan lady said, she can't afford to insure her house this moment, and I show her some tools that can bring the premium down, but she opted to cover her contents. So that's another thing you can do. You can cover just your contents. And she says she's going to cover her contents. So if something does happen, she doesn't have to start back from zero. That's the origination of that start back from zero. She will get back her furniture, her appliances, anything that she put on that list inside her home will be replaced. So I would advise people, get whatever coverage you can get, and we will make it as affordable as possible. So it's one of the better investments you can make, so you don't have to start back from zero.
All right, thank you, Jarvis. And again, your job here, your title here?
Senior Sales and Marketing Agent.
Okay, Mako. Okay.
Yes,
Mr. Smith, in closing?
Don't start from zero. Don't risk it. Talking about savings, talking about investments, insurance is one of the best investments you can make.
Yes.
For a nominal fee, you use your money otherwise to save, to invest with peace of mind.
Okay.
Don't start from zero.
From zero. You heard that.
We're here to help you.
Okay. And you are the general manager of Mako?
I am Adrian Smith, general manager of Mako.
Okay, thank you, gentlemen. And this has been the FIM Roadshow from Mako in the Valley. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.